won't bow down to no man.
Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by. This is the Milk in the Clock podcast. I am your host, James Carter. I'm joined by my co-host, Chase Oliver. It's a weekly thing. This is what we do Tuesday, Fridays. We come on here, isn't that right, Chase?
Yes, sir. And for all you kids in college doing finals, hope you guys have best of luck on your finals adventure. But make sure you watch some sports as you're doing your finals. Studies show when you watch sports during finals, you actually do better on your finals.
Yep, have fun going through hell. Make sure to fill out your damn college bowl manias and all that junk. Because, sports comes first. I'm sorry. That's what it does. All right, so let's get into, I can't wait to dissect this. The whole Cowboys choke job. Because, that's what it was. Let's not take it lightly. It was a complete and utter choke job that the Dallas Cowboys displayed Sunday. It absolutely entirely was. This is a team that was up 26-3 at halftime. Halftime, they were up 26-3. The Packers had 5 possessions in the second half. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It doesn't get much worse than that defensively. And obviously the last possession of the game, that's a kneel down.
Last two possessions of the game.
What was that?
Last two possessions for the game for the Cowboys. Not good offensive possessions whatsoever.
Intercepted. It just, I gotta defend Tony Romo slightly because, obviously when you put up 36 points, your team should win. But then again, they should have put up more points than that because this is a team that, how many field goals did they kick? They kicked 5 field goals. You score a touchdown on one of those drives, you win the game. You don't intercept. You don't get intercepted on both of the last 2 drives. You win the game. So there is some fault. There is some blame that has to go on Tony Romo, but most of the blame does have to go on the Green Bay. On the Monty Kiffin defense, the Dallas Cowboys defense, that continues to be the worst in the league. There's no doubt to me, after what we saw on Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys defense is the worst in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. Okay? Minnesota is not that bad compared to them. Washington, no. Jacksonville, no. It is Dallas, number 1. It is a miracle to me that Dallas held the Washington Redskins to 3 points. And now that was about 8 weeks ago. Feels like it was a lifetime ago. Because since that moment, this team has again been getting thrashed week in and week out. And it's absolutely ridiculous considering the talent that they have on defense, the talent that they've been stocking up for years. It's not good enough. Why not?
I don't know how to answer it, James. For weeks, everyone's been talking about the Dallas defense and how terrible it's been. And I said it best. Even if Aaron Rodgers is not playing, Matt Flynn knows how to shred up bad defenses. And when I saw at halftime the Cowboys were destroying the Packers, I said, wow, look at the maturity of the Dallas Cowboys. This team is ready for that next level, which is the playoffs. I really thought, because the Eagles laid an egg, here comes the Cowboys with a golden opportunity to take advantage in the NFC East and just throw it away like that. The defense is just, I don't know how you can be that bad, but it's not only the defensive fault, it's the offensive play calling's fault too. DeMarco Murray was rushing that damn football in the first half. Why did they go away from the run so damn much? I believe he only got 3 touches, 4 touches in the second half compared to 18 in the first half. Come on, man. DeMarco Murray's having a field day against this defense. Rush the football. I know Tony Romo's getting paid the big bucks, and I know that you're looking for him to force the throw. But if your team is so complete on offense, why don't you use all their weapons? I feel DeMarco Murray, the reason why we haven't seen this guy become a top 5 NFL running back or even a top 10 NFL running back, is because he's held back by the damn play calling in the Dallas Cowboys. Because there's those glimpses of brilliance from DeMarco Murray. He has those games that say, look, this guy can become one of the top 10 running backs in the NFL, but it seems like he's being held back under this Dallas offensive system. Put him in Minnesota, DeMarco Murray would be a stud. Put him in Green Bay, DeMarco Murray would be a stud. Hell, put him on the Patriots who need a running back, he would be a stud. Tom Brady would love to have a running back. Tom Brady just doesn't throw to pad his stats. Tom Brady likes to have a running back to run the football, especially last year when Stephen Ridley was actually doing good at running the football. Look at what Brady did most of the time. He handed off the football. DeMarco Murray, I don't know why he didn't get any touches. And that audible by Tony Romo was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't care what coverage you see. You're on your own 30. Fucking run the football. Don't just say, oh, I see this one-on-one. This could be a big touchdown. No, Tony. This just gives better field position at the Packer if something bad happens. Run the football. It's just ridiculous to me. I have no hope in the Cowboys. I've lost every single hope I've ever had in the Cowboys. I don't think I can even choose them next year to go to the playoffs. It's not because of Tony Romo. It's just because that place right now is just a circus. It's not even a football team. It's a circus. It's a media circus, and it's just ridiculous. I know people like to shit on the Jets for being a media circus, but the Cowboys, they are way worse than the Jets.
And the fact of the matter is this, okay, Jerry Jones is a fool. Because even today, Jerry Jones was defending Jason Garrett. He was defending everybody. Okay, can you please just shut up, okay? Because I'm so sick of this junk, and I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I have no affiliation with the Cowboys. My team's in the AFC South. Okay, I have nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys. But I just sit back from afar, and I just shake my head, and I'm just saying, what are they doing? I mean, what's going on? I mean, you know, on that last drive with Tony Romo, you just know in your heart he's going to get intercepted. And you're just praying it doesn't happen. And it happens. I mean, it's unbelievable. And apparently his job is safe, which is just absolutely ludicrous to me. Jason Garrett. Okay, this guy, first of all, I'm not convinced they're going to win next week, but let's say they do, which I believe ultimately they will. So they win next week, okay, they go into the last game. What evidence do we have to say they're going to win that one? They go 8-8 again, third straight year. Okay, I'm pretty sure Wade Phillips was fired after he went 13-3, 9-7, 11-5, and started the season 1-7. He was fired. And yet Jason Garrett is going to keep his job after 3 pedestrian years. 3 years of which Wade Phillips did better, 3 years himself, and then 1 year he did worse. That's it. Unbelievable.
And also, this is not like, you know, this is not also bashing Tony Romo, because we're all in agreement that most of you motherfuckers who like the Cleveland Browns, who like the Jacksonville Jaguars, who like any team that doesn't have a quarterback would love to have Tony Romo as their quarterback. Guaranteed you would love to have Tony Romo as your quarterback because he gives you a better opportunity to win than most quarterbacks in the NFL today. It's just this whole, I don't think Tony can succeed in Dallas. I don't think they're building a team to succeed around Dallas. I mean, they just don't have the money, the pieces, the mind, the football mind there. Jerry Jones is way out of touch. This guy is way out of touch. And you can tell by this past year's draft when Travis fucking Frederick, who is not even doing that good as a center, some guards that have been drafted way later than him this year, and even some guards in the supplemental draft are doing way better than Travis Frederick. He's not that good of offensive lineman. So Jerry Jones is way out of touch. He needs to get a real GM in there. He needs to get a real GM in there. Enough of Jerry playing fucking owner and GM. This is where the Dallas Cowboys are never going to succeed. I'm sorry. I can no longer choose them to do anything. I like Tony Romo. I think he's I hope he has success in his career because I really do like Tony Romo. I see nothing wrong with the dude. Like, yeah, sure, he screws up in the fourth quarter, but he's got one feel-good story that every kid dreams about. An undrafted kid from a small D3 school getting to play for the Dallas Cowboys. How freaking awesome is that? That's a story you can ride with. That's something you can relate to. That is like Tony Romo's one of those kids that make you feel like anything is possible. That's why I like Tony Romo. But he's never going to succeed in Dallas. That is just the bottom line fact. He will never succeed in Dallas.
All right, with that said, let's go on to what happened on Monday Night Football, and that is the Baltimore Ravens defeating the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions are very similar to the Cowboys, and slightly. Not now. We expect a lot more of the Cowboys. Okay, yeah. They're a more storied franchise. You know, hell, let's say the Lions finish 8-8. I mean, as far as their franchise is concerned, that's great. That's great. But still, I'm very frustrated, and I have nothing to do with the Detroit Lions. I have no affiliation with them, except, they steal my team's players, but that's another story for another day. This is a team that has completely collapsed over the end of the season. Completely. Utterly collapsed. What an utter collapse that the Detroit Lions have been experiencing this season. Okay? This team started out 6-3 just a couple weeks ago. Just a couple weeks ago. Just that what? 5 weeks ago they were 6-3. They now stand 7-7. And I can't believe what I'm witnessing. They lost to Tampa Bay. They lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to Philadelphia. And now they lost to Baltimore. That's a complete collapse. Okay? Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, these are two teams that are definitely finishing under 500. Philadelphia and Baltimore are nothing to ride home about. Okay, just a complete and utter collapse. Matt Stafford, once again, okay, he didn't play awful, but he did not play good enough. This is a guy that was taken first overall. Okay, we expect you to be great. He's good. Okay, and that's a problem as far as I'm concerned. The defense actually played well. The defense held the Ravens to 6 field goals. The defense didn't allow a touchdown. Whenever your defense doesn't allow a touchdown, that's the game you should win, and yet the Lions did not. Tell me why.
They didn't win because the offense was clearly out of sync. Like, ever since, the Lions have been given a great opportunity to win this division, let's look at it this way. They beat the Bears because Jay Cutler's not starting. They beat the Packers because Aaron Rodgers is not playing. Now they swept the Bears this year when Jay Cutler was playing. They have the golden opportunity to win the NFC North. Now, people are even saying after this loss, it's going to come down to Chicago and Green Bay at Week 17. The Detroit Lions offense, ever since, I believe, that huge win against Green Bay, they haven't looked like the same offense. I believe after that Green Bay game, they were facing Tampa Bay, right? Correct? Am I wrong about that one?
Yeah.
They faced Tampa Bay afterwards? I remember you and I, we were saying to ourselves, I don't know, should we pick Tampa Bay or should we
actually, no, after it was Philadelphia, before it was Tampa Bay.
After the Green Bay game?
Yeah, after the Green Bay game was Philadelphia. Before the Green Bay game was Tampa Bay.
Okay. See, after the Green Bay game, I feel like they felt like the season was done for them. And ever since, Philadelphia, the snowstorm, their indoor team, all right, that's an excuse for you. But this game right here in your own home, this is not an excuse. The offense just looked bad. It looked terrible. Like Reggie Bush, after that one dynamic touchdown run, they were struggling to get points on the board ever since. I was just like, what's going on? What's going on with the Detroit Lions? It's like they're so bipolar. 1 week, their offense will be one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, one of the offenses you want to watch because they seem so damn exciting, and yet their defense will suck. And then all of a sudden, their defense will show up, but their offense won't. Their most complete game this year, in my opinion, is against the Green Bay Packers. Their defense showed up, and their offense showed up when they needed to. I don't know what's up with the Detroit Lions. I was very high on them. I even said they would be a surprise team that could shock some people if they made the playoffs. But it looks like they're not going to make it there. They are not going to make it to the playoffs. In my opinion, I think Chicago or Green Bay will win the NFC North now.
I mean, it's just as you said. Okay, I'm of the belief, and this may change throughout the week. Okay. But right now, I have the Bears, and I have the Packers winning. The Lions no longer control their own destiny. They did. They controlled their own destiny. All they had to do was win 3 very winnable games. Win against a 7-6 Baltimore Ravens team, a 5-8 New York Giants team, now 5-9, and win against a 3-9-1 Vikings team, now 4-9-1. And they didn't. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. Let me your mic.
Okay.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1. There you go. This is the Jim Schwartz era. I mean, this team, they made the playoffs 1 year. Okay, great. They completely underwhelmed the next season, and now big expectations, and start off 6-3 and 1-4 in their last 5 games. That's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable, and so sooner or later you just get tired of it. Maybe they need what do they need? Some sort of. Well, I mean, their offense is good for the most part, most of the time. I mean, sometimes they're inefficient, though. Maybe they need a quarterback guru like Mark Trestman to go in there and, I don't know, maybe fix up Stafford. But, I mean, the defense still stinks, but at least they played well today. I mean, they still have a lot of issues. I mean, it's just, I think these issues, though, can be fixed with coaching. I think the good coaching, good draft, their luck could change, but not in 2013. They've lost their own fate. They don't control it.
I totally agree with you there about the Detroit Lions.
All right. Well, with that said, let's go on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Sunday night, they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this allows the Baltimore Ravens to be once again very vibrant and alive in the AFC North Championship. The Ravens now control their own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
If the Ravens win next week against New England, the Week 17 matchup between the Bengals and the Ravens will be for the AFC North Championship. And the Bengals just came out flat this game. I mean, we're only going to touch on this game quickly, but this is what concerns me about the Cincinnati Bengals. On the road, they can't win. They've done this all season, and they did win one against the
San Diego Superchargers,
Cleveland Browns, and San Diego Chargers. But against San Diego, San Diego fumbled that game away.
Yeah,
okay, I'm not convinced the Bengals won that game. I'm of the opinion that San Diego fumbled that game away. And if they could have held on to the damn ball, then San Diego would have easily won that game. Antonio Gates lost a fumble. Keenan Allen lost a fumble. These are guys who do not fumble. They do not fumble. They fumble the football. And also Phillip Rivers had an interception, which he didn't help their cause either. 3 turnovers. And then they won a Detroit game, which I'm still not of the opinion that they should have won. Buffalo barely escaped. I mean, on the road, I don't trust this team, especially in a road divisional game. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't trust the Bengals at all on the road. Even when they had Geno Atkins, I still didn't trust them because they were playing really, really bad on the road. They played Miami on the road too, and look at how bad that game was for the Bengals. Andy Olin, he was named Player of the Month, and all of a sudden he threw 3 interceptions that were crucial in that game. I'm sorry, man. If the Bengals, the Bengals' hope is that if they somehow face the Broncos, because we all know Peyton Manning come playoff time, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on the show, when that comes near. But that's the Bengals' only hope, because if they go to New England, which I'm guessing is going to be the 2 seed, if they go to New England, that's not going to be a pretty game for the Bengals. And who knows even if the Bengals are going to get past, because what if the Bengals have to face off against they're going to be facing off against either Miami, who have kicked their ass, Baltimore, who we know can handle them, and especially if Baltimore wins the AFC North Championship, it'll just be a rematch from Week 17, and so, hell, that's going to be a tough game. Or the San Diego Chargers, and the Chargers, they're one of those teams that love to spoil playoff teams. They've done it in years past. I mean, those are 3 teams for the Bengals they would not want to face. They would rather take on the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs have been playing much more better in recent weeks. They would rather take on the Chiefs to take on any of those 3 wildcard teams that know them very, very well, because each of those teams have already played them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't trust them on the road. They're not a team that's ready for the Super Bowl yet, and it's not because of Geno Atkins' injury that's holding them back. It's the quarterback play. I don't trust their quarterback whatsoever.
Yeah, so, that's all we want to talk about. Not much there. All right, New England, Miami. New England, and I expected this. We talked about this on the Friday edition of the Moving the Club podcast. I thought, I was of the opinion that, with all the weapons New England didn't have, no Gronkowski, no Thompson, no Dobson, that it was going to be difficult for them to win the game. And guess what? It proved to be true because they were running guys like Michael Humanoli, and whoever else they were running out there, which just turned into a joke. They're throwing to these guys, there's no chance. These guys have no chance. Absolutely not. I'm surprised this guy got something out of Julian Edelman and Amendola. Good for Josh Boyce. Damn. Let's give Tom Brady some props. He was playing terrible at the beginning of the season. He's cleaned it up. He's played much better with this group of ingrates that he has running out there on the field. But, this just showed to me, the Patriots, they're not going anywhere this season. I'm sorry. Anywhere for them is a Super Bowl. That's what I mean, anywhere. Yeah, they can make it to an AFC championship. Oh, yeah. Are they going to win it? No. Okay? They beat Denver. Yeah, great. But now they don't have near the amount of weapons they had when they beat Denver. Okay, and I'm sure Peyton Manning's going to want to have some sort of revenge in the playoffs. They're not getting home field advantage. Hell, they may lose home field. They may lose a bye week if they're careful. If Cincinnati can wisen up, which I don't believe they will.
Our team last year lose their bye week. Remember the Houston Texans? They had that one bye week. Yeah. All of a sudden, they lost it. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Look, if Tom Brady somehow wins the Super Bowl with this team, I'm calling him the greatest quarterback of all time because this man right here can throw to losers that I never heard of in my life and people that just sign off the street. This man is a boss to me, and he will be the greatest quarterback of all time if he can win a Super Bowl. I'll have no problem saying that about Tom Brady, but they ain't going to make it that far. The defense. It sucks that their defense had gotten so depleted because I felt the Patriots defensively was improved. But they lost two of their star players in Mayo and Will Fork. Then later on offense, it's like Gronkowski. Man, what's with this guy? Can this guy stay healthy? Is he made out of glass? I swear this guy can't stay healthy. Aaron Dobson was doing well. I don't know what happened to him. Campbell Tompkins got injured too. Those were two young receivers that I said to myself, man, give these guys a couple more years under Tom Brady. These guys will be offensive weapons and studs. So when whoever takes Tom Brady's place, they'll have two good wide receivers to throw to in Dobson and Tompkins. But I'm sorry, man. This Patriots team right now, they just need help. They need who was that idiot that won the MVP for them when they faced off against the Eagles? Who is that?
Deion Branch.
Yeah, call Deion Branch up. Chad Ochocinco needs a job. He'll be glad to come back. Maybe call Terrell Owens. Hell, get Randy Moss out of Fox Sports 1. Call someone to help out this team. There's receivers out there that want a job. They'll have no problem with it, man. I love the Patriots. I think they're a great organization, but they ain't gonna make it to no Super Bowl. And especially if they have to. I think if they face Denver, they have a shot because it's always that chess match between Brady and the Patriots defense. It's not really Manning and the Patriots defense. It's not really Brady has to do a chess match against that terrible Broncos defense. So yeah, well, I agree with you. No shot at the Super Bowl. If they do make it, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. There's no question.
Absolutely. They're not getting anything from their running game either because Stephen Ridley has turned into some sort of joke. Shane Vereen, yeah, okay, we're just gonna run halfback wheels all day long. Hey, Bill Belichick. Hey, Billy. Okay, you can't run halfback wheels all day long. Sooner or later, the defense is actually going to figure out what you're doing. But whatever. I'll let him do what he wants to do.
Who do they have? They have Ridley, Vereen,
and LeGarrette Blount.
And Brandon Bolden, right? They have Bolden.
Yeah, and LeGarrette Blount.
They have four random ass running backs, man. They need a running back bad.
Yeah. So, not much more to talk about NFL. Saints suck on the road. Yeah, we already knew that. We should have saw that coming. last week. But hey,
But they were
NFC South Championship basically next week, Week 16. We'll talk about all the matchups this Friday. And that's enough NFL Monday. So there you go, NFL Tuesday. All right, so let's get into the college football Heisman. Just slightly. Jameis Winston wins the Heisman. Boom. None of us, all of us expected that.
Destroyed the voting. Like, I loved when people would bring Heisman voters to interview and they'd be like, "Oh, who'd you vote for?" I can't say, but I think Jameis Winston's gonna win. He was already the lock to win the Heisman, and I was actually listening to a couple of radio stations, and a lot of them were saying that, like, it's kind of weird how they brought 6 finalists, but I think the reason why, and a lot of people were saying the reason why, is so that way they can show all the highlights and make sure no media reporters ask Jameis Winston about the whole, controversy that he had. So it was smart on the Heisman ballot to get 6 people in there. But the highlight of the Heisman Trophy Award wasn't Jameis Winston talking or anything. It was Johnny fucking Football, man. This guy he just goes up there with all the other Heismans. He's still in college. Who do you think Johnny? You know all the Heisman winners get a vote, right, James?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think Johnny Football voted for?
Oh, actually, they released his ballot to the public, and he voted Winston number 1. Now, I can't believe what I'm about to say. He voted Andre Williams number 2, and he voted himself number 3.
Okay, John. Well, that's good sportsmanship on Johnny Football. I thought like he would vote for himself number 1, number 2, and number 3. But yeah, what? He can't if he wants to. He's Johnny Football. But yeah, that's good on Johnny Football. That's just hilarious how he just came up there. But congratulations to Jameis Winston. Great college career, great college season. We'll hopefully try to repeat for the Heisman next season.
Yep, most definitely. And what do you think about Jameis Winston possibly playing MLB baseball? Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I haven't seen this guy play baseball, but knowing how he plays quarterback in football, he ain't that bad of a baseball player. I actually saw like a little clip, that college football does, and they talked about him, like how good he is as a off the field guy. So I guess he's a good teammate to have in baseball. I don't know if he's good at it, but maybe I have to watch some Florida State baseball games to find out if he's actually really good at the games or something. But I highly doubt it.
Now, I'm biased, and we're all biased. If you're here, you're biased, because we like football more than baseball. I mean, if you're here, that probably applies to you. I understand that there's more money in baseball. Okay, I mean, I understand that. But just stick with the NFL. And from what I've seen, he's good. Well, from what I'm seeing, he's good. Because I saw this guy completely launch a baseball, just completely launch it at home plate. So Yasiel Puig-ish. I was like, wow. I mean, look at this guy. But I would love for him to stick to the NFL. I think he could be a great NFL prospect. But the NFL is not like any other sport. Okay, unless if you're Tony Gonzalez. Okay, everyone else besides Tony Gonzalez, you better show up during the off season. Okay, you have to practice. You have to take every snap in order for you to be prepared to play in the NFL. And teams are going to become very wary if he's, still has some allegiance towards baseball, because they want you in OTAs, they want you in training camp, they want you every single practice, they want you Peyton Manning, getting your wide receivers, working out with them. You can't be playing baseball. You can't. I'm sorry. It's fun, blah, 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 but you have to hang it up. If you want to go into the NFL, if the NFL is your life, and you can have a wife, but that's it. It stops there.
Yeah, especially if you're a quarterback. You can't, it's not like Deion Sanders. Like, everyone's like, well, Deion did it. Well, Deion was a cornerback. It's like, yeah, you need to know keys for cornerback, but he was playing like outfielder in baseball, so he was pretty much playing positions that I think are similar to it. And also Bo Jackson, everyone says about him. Bo Jackson was more of a baseball player, and then he went to the NFL later on in his career as an off-season hobby for baseball, because baseball's off-season was totally different back in the day than what it was. So I'm just saying, I don't think he needs to play baseball. I think it would be terrible if this guy does not go to the NFL. I think this is the NFL and the MLB. They're going to have a war for Jameis Winston because this guy is someone you want in your league. The character and just like LeBron James-esque, he has that LeBron James appeal to me. And the NFL and the MLB, they're going to make some good cases of why you should go here and here. But like you said, there's more money in baseball, and if Jameis Winston's about the money, he might go to the money. He actually was thinking about going pro after his high school year of baseball, so who knows? It's up to Jameis Winston. But what was I going to say about Winston? Well, you can do what Russell Wilson's doing for the Rangers. Did you hear about Russell Wilson? You know how he got drafted? You know what he's going to do for the Rangers?
I didn't hear an update on that situation.
All he's doing there is just going to go be a motivational speaker.
Well, I guess they drafted him for that purpose. I mean, the MLB draft doesn't mean anything. I mean, the NFL draft, MLB draft, I mean, it's kind of hilarious comparing those two.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, speaking of the NFL draft, Bridgewater.
Bridgewater, for those of you who don't know, he's considering staying in, and this is the biggest mistake he could ever make in his entire life. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jameis Winston looks like a complete and utter two and done. Okay, if no one else, Johnny Football looks like a two and done. This guy looks like a two and done. Okay, this guy's winning the national championship. Okay, I'm already sold on that. So what purpose is he going to serve staying in college for another year? Okay, no, stop it. He's leaving. He's getting on the quickest train bus out of there, and he's gone as soon as next year ends. So you got Jameis Winston. Marcus Mariota staying till next year. Brett Hundley, it looks like he's going to stay until next year. You have Bryce Petty of Baylor. He decided to stay until next year. There's going to be a lot of competition going on at the top of next year's 2015 draft. He's better off just going this year, being number 1, 2, or 3. I mean, just in case the Texans decide to be idiots, which they definitely could. Definitely top 3, okay? There's no way this guy's going past Jacksonville. There's no way. Or, maybe Houston passes on him. Hell, if Houston passes on him, I'm sure the Rams are going to take him in that, in that case. But there's no way. Or, hell, no, if the Texans draft Clowney, the Rams have the number 2 pick, they're trading down. Someone will trade up to that number 2 spot and take Teddy Bridgewater, guaranteed. Take the money, run with the money, because next season that money is going to be very hard to get. Very hard to get with next year's quarterback class.
I don't understand why you think. Okay, I know Louisville, all sports are moving to the ACC. Okay, that's cool. You guys are moving from the AAC to the ACC. Good for you. But, James, like you said off air, look at what happened to Todd Boyd when he went up against Florida State. Imagine Louisville going up to Florida State. I mean, Louisville is going to get their wins. But, Bridgewater needs to understand, look, bro, you don't need to improve your draft stock. You're not A.J. McCarron, who needed to go back to college to build a college dynasty and all that other crap. You're not freaking Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota, I like that he went back because there were still some mechanics that he could work on. Brett Hundley is the same exact thing. Still some mechanics he could work on. Jameis Winston, obviously, I think he's a pro already. He just has to stay. I mean, the best quarterback when you leave is either Johnny Manziel or Blake Bortles. And Blake Bortles might even go back. I mean, honestly, Bridgewater. What happened to Matt Barkley, who was projected to be the number 3 pick? What happened to Matt Barkley when he said, I'm going to go back to win a title for USC? He ended up going down to the 3rd round, and now he doesn't even look like he has a future NFL career. And look at what happened to Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray could have been easily taken by the Buffalo Bills as the first quarterback, but instead he decided to go back. I mean, when you are a highly talented prospect, you don't go back. You take the money and you run. Like James said, you take that money and you run with it.
Came from the bottom, but I'm coming to the top. Like some testing your will. How much faith do you got? Your foot's on the line. Will you ever take a shot and score the game? Winning points when it's zeros to clock. I've came to find that life's a test. There's no cheating either. Just work and stress. If no money's provided, you're eating.